Good morning, everyone. Bill here with KAV Treks. It is day number this many of the state fair. It's day number 5. It's the first Monday of the state fair. I got a little bit of work to go do first, but then we're going to go do some exploring. Yeah, let's see what else we have not seen at the fair so far. Again, I absolutely love getting at the state fair early. It's about 8:30, 8:15, something like that. And the crowds are not here yet, really. But a lot of places are already open for food. Turkey to go. I have not gotten my turkey to go yet. Maybe today will be the day. I mean, seriously, check this out. Wide open spaces. Go find something to eat. Go get some breakfast. Wander around a little bit. Buildings open usually at 9. So this is a great time to be here. You can go hit up those booths with the long lights for the hit food of the year without much of a wait.
3 hours later.
Alright, I'm a little bit of a lunch break here from work. First stop we're going to make over here is Dan Patch because this has been rotating every day. It is Mental Health Awareness Day. So the booths here today are talking about mental health awareness and psychology and things that you can do to help yourself. I'm on the quest for some lunch. It is lunchtime for me, so I think I'm going to go get some turkey to go. The crowd showed up. It's a lot different than it was when I came in at 8:15. Now it's about 12:15, and you can see how it got a lot more full in those 4 hours. There's my destination, Turkey to Go. It's right across from the poultry barn, next to the milk stand. This is my number one favorite to get at the state fair. This is the half-pound Turkey to Go sandwich. They have a gigantic one that's 12, and this is the half pound, which is 14. I might get these multiple times over the course of the fair. I'm amazed it took me so long to get one this trip. They do offer barbecue sauce for this or other seasonings you can put on, but for me, straight up, out of the roaster, pulled turkey is the way to go. Well, you let your food digest and you just enjoy your day. People watching. It's free, and you can take as much time as you want. Oh, that was good, but I'm gonna go back to work because the sooner I'm done, the sooner I'm done.
One debt to society later.
All right, I'm finally done with work. Everything always takes longer than you think it's going to, doesn't it? All right, we're gonna go explore a little bit, see what I have not seen yet, and there's a lot. So I figured I have not come through these gates, at least not yet this year. This is the entrance when you come in through a bus. So they have the bus lot over there where you can take from many park and rides around the metro. And this entrance, as nice and as new as this looks, this entrance was actually built in the 1930s. I think 1936 was the date. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's 1936. And this is where the streetcars would drop off. So the sign would welcome passengers from the street ride, from the streetcar. One thing that I believe is new this year is the selfie spots where you can find that you can scan that QR code with your phone and it will tell you selfie spots around the fairgrounds. So from the entrance, I'm actually going to go this way. This is the West End. It used to be known as Heritage Square back a few years ago. This is actually the 10th year that the West End has been here. It was Heritage Square for I don't know how long before that, but this is where more historic type stuff used to be for the fairgrounds. This building is the Heritage Center, which is a museum about the state fair and the heritage thing in the back here. You can see a wagon there for oil. You know, I don't think I've ever actually been in here, so I'm going to poke my head in so we can all figure out what it is. At the one entrance, you can see this is what ticket takers would take to sell their tickets. The front gate, this goes back to 1947, and this ticket roll was from 1922, so this roll of paper is over 100 years old. So they would sell you a ticket, they give you the ticket, and then they would put their ticket into these boxes here to collect them. And all kinds of memorabilia in here from throughout the fair from over the years. On the floor is an old map of the grounds. There used to be a streetcar loop right here, and that's the grandstand over here right now. I guess that's where we would be in comparison for today. This is one of Fairchild's outfits. This is from 1998. Well, not an early version, but still a few years ago. State Fair was in 1860 and it was held at Fort Snelling. Then in 1870 they had it in Winona. For a couple years they had it in St. Paul. There's been a few times the State Fair has been canceled. They canceled it for the Civil War and the Dakota War. They had scheduling conflicts with Chicago World Fair, so they canceled in 1893. In 46 they canceled because of the polio epidemic. And in 45 they canceled it due to a fuel shortage for the war. And a lot of us are familiar with this one when they had to cancel a couple years ago. Oh, sorry, a lot of this is out of chronological order. 1859 was the first State Fair in Minneapolis. It went to 8 days in 1919, and then it became 11 days in the 70s, and eventually 12 days. That's the way how we know it now. I actually had the State Fair in several other places: Red Wing, in Rochester, Minneapolis, and now it's in Falcon Heights. It's not in St. Paul. For some reason people think it's St. Paul, but we're in Falcon Heights, which is in between the two cities. The overall record attendance was in 2019. This display is to talk about the history of horse racing, and then for several years they had auto racing. Well, they definitely have a lot of things around here for history. Entertainment and presidential visits, attractions, auto racing, horse racing, all kinds of competitions. I'm behind the Heritage Center, and this area is for Heritage Square, a couple of landmarks that they kept. I was reading the Heritage Square actually was open in 1975, so over 30 years it had been in this location before they opened it as the West End in 2014. One thing that's not changed about Heritage Square is this amphitheater. It's in the back corner. They do live performances that rotate throughout the fair. This is actually a great place to go to find local vendors and food. All that kind of, I mean, a lot of areas around the fair have that, but this is all open market kind of thing. Where's the grandstand where it's closed? I'm going to make my way from the West End back toward, heading toward the grandstand. I'm across from the Sky Ride. And this building is where you can go for care assistance, lost and found, medical issues, first aid, that kind of a thing. And next to that is the State Fair Police Department. They do have their own the State Fair does have their own police department. During the fair, they work with other law enforcement from around the state. And I think sometimes they actually even go out of state to try to get the help from other states. They'll come here to work for a couple days. This is the Sky Ride, not to be confused with the Sky Glider. Carrie and I rode the Sky Glider yesterday at the fair. That one goes from the grandstand up the Machinery Hill. This one goes from over here by the other side of the grandstand, and this one goes up to the food building. And across from there is also the Sky Tower. There's the entrance that we were just at where the buses drop off people and pick them up. We're gonna go this way, and the grandstand is ahead. So speaking of State Fair history, this is the grandstand. That's the ramp up to the upper level. But off to the side here along the wall, they have history about the grandstand. So that's the construction. And then we're gonna go a little bit farther down, right under the ramp. They have a little bit of history about early events that they have at the grandstand, like auto shows and air shows, horse racing. A little bit farther down, they have a whole section about auto racing. Some greats from auto racing have been here: Dale Earnhardt, Dick Trickle. And you can't talk about the grandstand without talking about the shows. So some top talent have been here. Everyone from New Kids on the Block and Garth Brooks, Willie Nelson, ZZ Top. I'm actually on the east side of the grandstand now. This is one of the entrances that you can go in for the shows. They just built this area up here over last summer so that you can, pay to watch from up there. It's a porch. And then something else that's back here is they have several flowers for pollinators. But here's something I just learned about is kind of next is London Broil here. You got this hill here. This is a good place where people like to go hang out, and they got some shade up there, and you can people watch from up here. And this is the other end of the Sky Glider. This is the one that Carrie and I rode yesterday. This one goes up the Machinery Hill, and you can tell the difference because this one is more like a ski lift where it's open air. The other one was enclosed. I established before that this is the kids' way. But the one thing that I want to talk about today is, I just found this out today, on certain times, on certain days, like today, today Monday, between 9 and noon, they had a sensory sensitivity time on the Midway where they didn't have as many blinking lights and noises and music and everything on the rides, so that children like my nephew Jaden could come and enjoy the rides without the sensory overload. One thing I'm definitely noticing is that the crowds tend to be lighter up on Machinery Hill or the north end, whatever you want to call it now. So if you're down kind of by the grandstand area and it's getting a little too thick with people, you can come up here and there tends to be a little bit lighter for the crowds. Actually pretty, I'd say pretty heavy crowds today. I'm going to grab myself something to eat, but before I do, I'm going to show you a couple tips here with the bargain book. Again, the bargain book is $5 and you can definitely get your mileage out of it with your coupons. On the first page there, they have like a layout so you can try to figure out where you are. They have it set up in different grids with letters. If you're looking for a specific booth, like let's say you see them as you're walking by, or you just remember the name of the booth, you can look in the front of the book. They have them listed alphabetically and in different groups for like what to eat, to drink, and things to buy. Let's say you're in the mood for something, but you don't know where to find it, but you're just in the mood for, like, let's say a corn dog. You can go to the back, and on the back there it has the things listed for items, so you can find, you know, a burger or a burrito or corn dog, whatever the case is, and that's in the back. And then let's say you find your coupon and you don't know where to go find it. On the back of it will be a map, and it'll point you into the right direction of where to go. So it'll be like map area F. So if you go to the map on the front page, that'll show you the map, and then you can help find it there. So like this one here is in the grandstand. You can also look on the booth. On the outside of the booth, most of them will have their coupon listed. So like right here, they have coupon number 13, and that'll be someplace, as I said, around the booth. But here you go. I was in the mood for a corn dog. I looked it up in the book. I found the corn dog stand, walked over to the corn dog place, and for $2 off, I was able to get my corn dog. So this was normally $9, got it for $7. So the coupon book saved me $2 there. So if I never used it before, I'm only short $3, and I will easily use more coupons. So do you know what the difference is between a corn dog and a Prompto Pup? Well, a corn dog is cornmeal based. Prompto Pup is wheat based. I'm across from the hangar on the north end, and got the Wild have a thing here. I'm just gonna hook my head in like an inflatable hockey rink. This is fun. I wonder if you could play roller hockey on this. There's something going on, at least a group of people. And I find out what it is. There's a line. There's a couple of Wild players are giving autographs. Mason Shaw and Cale Addison. You know what, I talked about this before, and I'm just gonna go in. This is the little farm hands. So in here, kids can learn all about farming, how to plant crops, how to grow crops, how to raise, I don't know, chickens, theoretically. I don't know, because I haven't been here before, but we're gonna go find out. Just walking in, go through the tunnel there, but coming in right off to the right is a tractor. It's actually a good photo spot. Oh, this is cool. I almost missed this. They have a beehive in here, so you can see how it works. Maybe you can actually even see the queen. You can learn about different kinds of, well, dirt, I guess, for, you know, like a sandy, if it's clay, that kind of a thing for growing. This is the way to the farm. If you build it, they will come. We'll walk through a cornfield and learn about pollinators. Pollinators are very important. I'm going to start planting some more pollinating type plants in my yard starting next spring, or at least that's my intention, because pollinators are good for crops and for vegetables. There's the grain bin, and in here you get to learn about feed and taking care of your animals. Now come out into the tractor shed. Oh, that's awesome and cute. Kids can ride these little tractors. Let's go into the tractor shed. Learn why tractors are important and how they work a little bit, I think. Nice. If you're shorter than 4 chickens and taller than 2 drive-through tractors here. They have these little spots across the way that have QR codes if you want to learn more about whatever that they're talking about. This is about poultry. Here's the chickens. You're supposed to feed the chicken. The chickens lay eggs. Quiet ladies. These apple trees are cute. These are not real apples, so don't try biting into any of them. Here you feed your sheep, and then you can shear sheep and grab wool from them. Up next is the dairy barn. Here you feed the cow, and the cow produces milk. And of course, milk is dairy. You can get cheese and drinkable. And there's the milk you can collect. And then here's the garden where we're gonna learn how to plant and grow. Is this real? Oh, I think that's real. I'll be. Here you can get chips representing representing seeds, and you can plant them. Don't forget to water. And then at the end you can sell your goods, whatever you collected. So if you collected milk from the cow or eggs from the chicken, and you can put them in here, and you're going to the market to sell them. That's how you make your money. It looks like you collect play money that you can turn in the grocery store to collect an item to keep. Oh, that's fun. You can actually turn it in for like a Capri Sun or an apple or a granola bar, something like that. Oh, nice. You can actually trade your dollar in to get ice cream or an apple or a fruit snack. Yeah, they're just getting ice cream bars. That is awesome. And it looks like there's a couple more activities in the barn on the way out that you can learn about. Everything from rain clouds, how bees are helpful in planting. So you can learn about soil and how it works, or helps how to keep it healthy, and the insects that help with that too. That was really interesting. I think like my nephew would really like that kind of thing. That's really neat and educational, and it's always fun when they hire the educator. It's always great when they can hide the education with something fun. I'm going to make my way back south past the gigantic Ferris wheel, and I don't know if I've been down this street yet. It all blends together. You can see what I mean up here on the north side about how it's less crowded. So again, if you want to take a break from the crowds, it seems like going on the north side to the Machinery Hill, the north side, is a good way to go, at least for a little while. This is Bobby's and Steve's, and this may be the best deal you can find for bottled water on property. $1 for a 20-ounce bottle of water. One of my hobbies, home improvement. Just don't judge me by how my house looks. Here's where you can find people if you need to do some renovations. Maybe you can find some new items that you've not heard of before for home improvement, like some sort of new tool. I went east a block, back at the Creative Activities building, and many people refer to this as the main gate, Gate 5, from Snelling Avenue. It's definitely very pretty on the other side, but I'm going to go this way south. That's an administrative building, one of actually several that they have on the property. O'Gara's is now to my right. Well, I want to go down here to show you something. Growing up as a Peanuts household, Charles Schultz, and also he's from Minnesota. I kind of miss seeing these around. They have these statues here at the State Fair. These used to be more common around, where they would make several of these for a couple years. So there's Snoopy and Lucy. These are next to the one band shell. Across from the band shell, that's a smoking area, and there's another Snoopy statue over there with Woodstock as Snoopy's laying on his doghouse. There's another administration building. They have a lot of administration buildings. Next to the band shell, well, basically directly across from the stage, This is the giant gopher statue that many people have had in photos, selfies, postcards, whatever the case is. This is one of the mascots. This is one of those recommended selfie spots so that you can see our gopher mascot for the state fair. And next to that band shell is the space tower. I think I've only been up in this thing one time since I moved to Minnesota about 30 years ago, and it can go really up high and you can see for miles and miles and miles. If you don't believe me, you're in denial. Disney joke. Across from the Space Needle, this is a good place where you can go hang out on the grass, but that's another administration building, and next to that is another administration building. This is actually the Bailey House. This building was built to house people who worked for the fair, but they would actually live here during the fair. Now they use it for administration. Then at one point, a groundskeeper would stay on here full time, and they added on this greenhouse next door where they grow plants to take care of, so everything looks nice for when the state fair opens up. Here's a ticket booth for the Space Tower. It is $5 per person, and there's actually 2 levels there, and yeah, it goes up there quite a bit. But across from the space shuttle is the Sky Ride. This is the one that goes over to the near Heritage Square, or not Heritage Square, I should say, but the West End. This is an enclosed one, and so it comes in there between the food building and the agriculture building. I'm a block over, kind of toward the big slide, if you know what I'm talking about, and this is the Yule Mill. This has been here for over 100 years. They celebrated 100 years a few years ago. It's kind of like a tunnel of love type thing. I haven't been on in a while. The one time I went on here, they put me with another couple. So I've not been on it since, I don't think. You know, before I head for the gate, I want to do one more thing here. I'm going to go up the ramp here to the upper level of the grandstand to kind of show what it's like up here. So from up here on the one side, you can overlook Dan Patch Park. So if you're having trouble finding a spot you want, you can get to an elevated spot to go see what's on the stage. And then further up here by the grandstand, if you go over the edge on either side, it's a good spot for some people watching. Woo, it is a warm day out here. It's actually only about 85, but the humidity has been woo. But anyway, a little bit of the day here at day 5 of the Minnesota State Fair. I hope you enjoyed what I did. I did a little something different there, kind of showing you around a little bit more history and kind of landmarks. But when Kara's not with me, it's a little different thing. I don't want to go check out too many things that she would be interested in, but I'm going to still try to do some interesting things. But anyway, I want to thank you for joining us. Please do me a favor and subscribe. About 90% of our viewers are not subscribers, so help us flip that number. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. But we want to thank you for joining us. I'm Bill. You've been watching KB Treks. We'll see you next time. Until then, good luck and have fun. See ya!